God bless everybody. Today it is June 4th of 2024 and the Middle East is getting ready to explode. I've got reports today that are going to show you that we have Turkish movement of troops towards the Iraq and Syria border. There's been an uptick of bombings along the front, and Turkey is getting ready to mobilize against Kurds due to the elections that are going to run on June 10th and 11th. And also he is getting ready to go down into Syria, Lebanon, into Palestine to help the Palestinians, because he's throwing a lot of rhetoric out here that the Muslim community of the world needs to come together and do something about this, and he's going to lead this charge. So this is going to break out real soon. I was trying to tell you guys May, June was going to be the time where this is going to kick off, and that we would see Erdogan in Tyre, Lebanon, or around Tyre, Lebanon in the end of July of this year. And this is going to play out as the paradigm has indicated it will, since it's directly from the Bible. And God tells us the plan because he gives us a history lesson that's going to play out in the future. So let's see what's going on out here and how this is going to affect us. Turkish defense minister says planned elections by Syrian Kurdish groups are unacceptable, and Erdogan has indicated that he will not allow this to happen. And so you are getting ready to watch Turkey walk into Syria and Iraq with force, and I'm not meaning a little force. They're going to do a massive invasion. They're all in on this. They're not going to back down, and they're going to do two things. They're going to go and genocide these Kurds to the point they're going to drive them towards Iran. Their Persians or Iranians will align with the Kurds, and when that happens, Turkey will crush both nations. This will probably happen by the end of this year, but as Erdogan has indicated, his first objective or main objective is to drive down through Lebanon to Palestine and to help the Palestinian people against the tyrant he calls Netanyahu and Israel, which he believes is genociding the Palestinian people. And we talked about this many times. Israel has no choice but to eliminate their threats. So you can look at this any way you want. You know, Hezbollah and Hamas could lay their arms down tomorrow and things would get normal again. But this is never going to happen, and Netanyahu knows that. And once you understand that picture, then you'll understand that there's not a whole lot Israel can do, as they're surrounded by threats from all around them. And they're such a small state out here to begin with. You need to understand the ability of Israel, their land mass. You know, go look at Israel on the map. There's just this little blip out here surrounded by hostile threats all over the place. Once you get that, then you'll understand, and the other side will say that they're being persecuted or whatever. This is God's land. He gave it to the Jews. It's a Jewish God. It's a Jewish Jesus. Once you understand that and you follow Jesus, you're going to follow a Jewish Jesus, okay? You need to understand what's going on out here. No sugarcoating out here, guys. But now Turkey's getting ready to start a lot of prophecies. A lot of different prophecies are getting ready to spring out of this invasion, okay? You talked about many of these. Daniel 8, Kurds, Iran align, Turkey crushes them. Ezekiel 38 and 39, 10 nations form against Israel, then are decimated on a 6-seal event because Erdogan's the white horseman of Revelation. Go to 2 Kings 24. What's that talk about? Turkey coming into the fight, as well as we see Hezbollah and the groups around Israel getting ready to attack and invade. All these prophecies are playing out, and there's many more. I'm just giving you some of them that I talk about all the time. But we could get into the weeds. You need to understand what's coming. Okay, so let's look at what's happening here and why. And if you go into these Kurdish live maps, there's a little delay because it takes them a while to post everything, but you can see what's going on out here. You can see what Turkey's ramping up multiple fronts here. The Kurdish groups are reacting to these. There's a lot of rhetoric between the two groups because the Kurds know they're getting ready to come in. They're evacuating certain areas and things like that to protect their populations, and they're also ramping up their fronts because Turkey's mobilizing troops to move down and do an invasion as we speak. So this is getting ready to break out. So this will change everything out here, guys. You need to understand that this is the game changer that's going to change the world and everything in the next year. And fuel is moving down due to a bunch of manipulation on the market right now. Oil is down below $80, but this is going to pop once this takes off. And I believe this is also going to pop your metals up. You can see metals hit 50 bucks an ounce. I'm sorry, that's about the high prior. And once it raises above that $50 mark, there is no resistance. So it could go parabolic as this breaks out, because this isn't going to go away anytime soon, and you're compressing all of the issues over in the Middle East with this new incursion by Turkey. So the Kurdish people are facing evacuations amid fears of Turkish cross-border attacks and invasion that's getting ready to happen. And so Turkey's on the move, the Kurds are on the move, this is getting ready to break out. It's affecting all of the Kurdistan people, especially along the fronts of Turkey and Syrian Iraq, where the Kurdish people are mainly occupying. And so this is going to break out hard on them, and they will not stand a chance against the Turkish army. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. And God's ordained this to happen to begin with, so this is going to turn ugly quickly. And this is an article that just came out yesterday where we're watching convoys spotted in the Erbil-controlled areas. And so Erdogan now has his military on the move to go against the Kurdish regions. And like I say, he will not allow these elections to continue. His purpose in this is to stop the formation of a Kurdish state before it occurs. Okay, he does not want these people to form a government and then become stable so that it's more of a problem for him. And he will do what he's, it's funny that he'll complain about Israel genociding Hamas and the Palestinians, but he's going to do exactly the same thing to not only the Kurds, but the Azerbaijan or the Armenians up around Azerbaijan. He's actually genociding multiple groups of people out here, but yet he has the ability to complain about Israel genociding the Palestinians, even though they're only basically trying to stabilize that region and eliminate threats so they can maintain sovereignty in an area that's completely hostile to them. So this man is evil. I'm sorry. He's evil. He's the white horseman of Revelation. He's going to die on the sixth seal. His reign's short. I mean, if you look at my timeline, he's only got till about March, and then he dies, and then we see a resurrection of an antichrist out of this guy. I don't know if he'll look the same. I've never really thought what antichrist would look like, but I do know who he is. There are people out here, well, we don't know who I know who he is. He's a dead Gog that comes back as Antichrist, okay? And the leader of the Ezekiel 38 and 39 group of people that are getting ready to go against Israel, these radicalized Muslim 10 nations, they're getting ready to go against Israel, will be led by this man because he's the leader of the Muslim community right now, of the world. So once you understand that, you'll understand what's coming up. And he's going to rebuild this Neo-Ottoman Empire. But right now, we have, and I keep talking about Erbil. Okay, Erbil is huge because it's not only a capital to the regional Kurdish people, it's also a green zone of ours. So it's going to affect us here in the United States too, because we have people over there. It's one of our main bases over there that has a green zone. And they've been bombing and throwing missiles at it for some time now, but this is now going to change everything. And like I say, on Friday, we started to see these ramping ups of all these attacks. He wants to put this major border together that's, I could say, 30, he's saying 30 to 40 kilometers deep here. He was indicating 25 kilometer by 200 mile wide. But I think he wants to actually go in there deeper. So you're talking about 30 to 40 miles by the time he gets done going through here, but he's going to take over everything. So just realize this is coming up, and you guys need to be aware of these things, because this will be the catalyst that changes the Middle East and the world in the next year. Now, one of the reasons this is occurring is Turkey's economy is completely collapsing, and they have 75% inflation. Okay, I don't know what our real numbers are here. They're probably twice to 3 times what they're telling us, but that's still under 10%, and Turkey's at 75%, and they're peaking higher every month. I don't know if this starts into war, if that would then also accelerate their inflation. So Erdogan's trying to save his economy. His lira is collapsing, and so Erdogan's got a lot on his plate, and so he's going to go in, and anytime you have economic destruction and bad economic policy like Erdogan's thrown down in the last couple of years, almost opposite or negative to what he should be doing. So he does exactly what he shouldn't do. He lowers rates when he should be raising rates in an inflationary period. And you can see that over here. That's exactly what they've done. They raised rates, try to slow the economy down so that the inflation drops. He doesn't do that. He does the exact opposite. He lowers rates, and then inflation goes crazy. So he's not an economist in any shape or form. It is what it is. He's been there 20 some years, and now he's going to reshape the Ottoman Empire in his optic. So just realize this is going to break out. There's a reason for it to break out, and Turkey's getting ready to this is not going to be a small invasion, folks. Once this happens, he's going to break out, and he's going to bring everything to bear because he has a mission. And he's got a very short period of time or window that God gives him to do all this in. So you just need to understand this. And I just wanted to bring this to report that we are having major troop movements to the border. Turkey's not going to allow the Kurdish elections to happen. And he's also in the process of trying to save his economy that is failing and has been for some time. So God bless everybody. Have a great day, and find that open door. Find Jesus. He is the only way through this nightmare. So God bless.